Hi OSLO users. This video is going to extend a CCL that I built in the lens output video, and I'm going to do that just to show you a little bit more power involved in using CCL and what's some of the great features of OSLO. So I've got this double Gauss lens open for my example, and it's under the lens. It's in the demos in the public folder. It's one of the lens demos. So I've got that open. And if you recall, if I open Notepad++, I did write a routine here called Lens Report CCL. And if we were to just go here and run it, what you would actually get, what you would actually get if we run it is just output on the refractive indices, wavelengths, lens data, and paraxial setup. But one of the things that really bothers me is when I ask for some data, maybe I only need a couple of lenses in a system, and somebody sends me this wall of text. And it's really, you understand why it happens. They have their program. It's very canned in how it spits the data out, and it really is a pain in the neck to go in there and delete a whole bunch of text out just to give people what they want. So sometimes they just send you the proverbial eat more carrots and enjoy your wall of text kind of file. So in this case, OSLO is a real champion, really good at customization. And so I'm going to take the routine that we wrote and just add a couple of little things to it that helps customize this and helps us limit what we're going to look at. But before I do that, let's just take a quick look here. Let's say I want to look at lenses 3 through, let's look at 3 through 9. So we're going to want 3 through 9 here ultimately. So I have my little piece of paper here and I'm going to write down 3 through 9. So that's what somebody's asked for. Now right now I don't have a routine that automatically makes it really easy for me to just give that output. I could type the commands in by hand, but that's a little bit of a nuisance to do if I'm doing it repeatedly. So let's go ahead and see if I can add some functionality into this program. So we're going to want the wavelengths, we're going to want RIN, and we're going to want RTG. We're going to want all of these different commands still to fully document it. But RTG and RIN are commands that we can limit what surfaces that we're actually using. So let's go ahead and open up the help. And let me just type in RTG. You can also pull this program down, radius or curvature data here, and it gives me a whole bunch of different data that I can call up here, and here is the command. So here is what I'm most interested in: surface range, first surface number, and last surface number. And there's another way to do this. I'm often quite lazy and I do it this way. I type in RTG with a question mark, and then it says, what do I want? All or surface? So I want SRF. And then we're going to want 3 and 9. So let me just test this out. 3 for the first surface, 9 for the second surface. So you can look up the commands, figure it out that way, or you can do it this way. And if you look here now, if I were to type in RTG, I would get all of the surfaces. Now I've only got ones that someone has asked for. So I'm not going to send them as much data. I'm just going to send them what they want. How nice, how useful. But I have to enter this into my CCL program. So here under RTG, if you remember, we had SRF, and then it asked for the surface numbers. Now I could just hard code these in as 3 and 9, but that's not that interesting. What I'd rather do is I would rather put in things that allow me to keep this quite general. So let me call it first surface and last surface. And if I come up here, this is basically a C syntax type of command. So what I can do is I can put an integer, int first surface, and then int last surface. And now when I do that, RTG is going to now only give me the first surface and last surface that I have here. And I can save that and I can recompile it, but I'm not quite done yet. I wanted to do the same thing for the refractive indices. So here's RIN, and I could do the same forced prompt thing, or I could look it up inside the documentation. Oh, look, surf, first surface number 3, last surface number 9, and I would have the same thing. Well, that's kind of handy. So all I have to do now is go back in here and basically do the same part of this command, but now do it on RIN. So there we go. Now I have a more flexible routine. The negative here at the moment is that I haven't defined any kind of defaults for first surface and last surface. So I would actually have to define these, or it's going to prompt me for them. But that's okay. That's not too hard to get around either. So now we go here to Lens Report CCL. The one thing when we call these routines is I can just put the name in and it will ask me for them, or I can just enter the numbers in, or I can follow a C syntax. I'll show you. This is Lens Report 3.9. Oops, it didn't like 3 and 9, and that's because I forgot to compile. See how easy it is to forget to compile? Now I go ahead and compile it, run the same thing, and now you see I've got the PXS, I've got the lens data going from 3 to 9, I've got the refractive indices going from 3 to 9, and there's more ways than just that to enter that command in. I could also do it as 3, 9. I could also do it where I just enter in the lens report. It doesn't like that. Oops, sorry, lens report CCL. Lens report CCL. I just type it in that way, and now it asks me for the first surface and the last surface. And you could even go so far as to type in lens report CCL and use your own command prompt on it, and it would do this command prompt, and it would do a force prompt, and it would do the same thing. So now I've taken my routine and I've very easily made it more flexible.